Good morning. So I did my playthrough in the last video, my first actual proper playthrough of doing some tower controlling. And I've got some mixed thoughts, as well as from answering some questions in the comments, looking at the support forum, looking at various threads in other online forums, Reddit, places like that. And just from trying to configure, navigate, and set some of these things up. And I'm sure a good number of you are going to guess what a lot of my complaints are out of the gate. But to summarize up front and get it out of the way first, if you're a fan of Tower 3D Pro, should you upgrade to this game? I'm going to say not yet. There's too many issues with it that's making it very difficult to recommend and have fun in the game. It's got a ton of potential, but it also really falls short of what we expected from it for those of us who contributed on the forums to what we'd like to see, improvements we'd like to make, and ultimately I hate to say it because a lot of work went into the game, but a lot of it feels like a copy-paste of Tower 3D Pro with a fancy frock put on. I know it's not exactly that, but I'm finding some similar issues with voice control, with how the push-to-talk response is going on right now, with how some of the planes are just glitched and don't respond, with some of the animations where the planes don't actually rotate left and right, where I've had some texture glitches. I know they fixed some of that in the hot patch, but come on. In the menus here, I can't remap the settings. Why? You give me here a drop-down menu, and why can't I remap these? What does it matter to you? Why do you care? This is like Development 101 stuff. Sound is okay, but why can't I test speech recognition? And why is there no option for me to speed the pilots up? They're speaking worse than my 11-year-old GPS in my car, 12-year-old GPS in my car. And she chews on cotton every time she tries to talk. Right turn ahead. I mean, come on. I understand you're using voice to text and all that stuff. And to that end, it would almost probably sound better if somebody with different accents was hired off the street to just record the responses to every single option in the game. Pay somebody for 8 to 16 hours worth of voiceover work. You've got yourself all the voice shots and it sounds like a real pilot. Hell, you could have them record it in 4 or 5 different tones or responses, like they're exasperated, they're happy, and make it a little easier. And then sure, you could probably inject the Merry Christmas or Happy Halloween or some other silly things in there to make it a little more timely to the season, but I don't know, it just sounds terrible to me. I like the voices in the accents, I like the sound, but if I'm honest, right now Tower 3D Pro did a better job with the voices, and I could change the speed of the response. Sure, going super fast was silly, but I've spent time listening to the tower at DFW and Denver and Atlanta and other places where I've been or lived, and the pilots don't speak that slow. They speak much faster. Even if I'm watching videos from like Trent Palmer, Bush pilots and things like that, and they don't really have a tower controlling the area, and they're just conveying their intentions to the traffic in the area, they still speak faster because you need to get your communication out and move on to what you're doing, and they need to hear it and go back to controlling their airplane. So I hate that. It kills it, because if you saw in the video where I was playing the game, I sat there waiting for planes to respond, and it's like, I want to speak, I want to speak, I want to talk, let me talk. But I'm stuck waiting for these people to take 50 seconds to get a simple command back out. So that's got to change. The ongoing usage of back-end configuration files, I get it for certain things. I really do. But for things like multiplayer, I should be able, in my opinion, in a game designed in modern times, be able to come in here, create my room, pick my airport, and say, you are going to be tower on 125.3, you're going to be ground on 125.3. I should be able to assign it live to people. And it would make more sense at that point. And then when I trigger the game, it would send that configuration to the other players in the lobby. Their computer would download the config, which would take all of a second, replace whatever they currently have in the multiplayer option, and boom, we're up and running. Next, that segues right into load times. Why does it take 3 to 4 minutes to load the game with real traffic? I don't get it. And why does the game use so much memory in the system when it's loading all that stuff in? I get it. There's textures, there's other things going in. But if you saw when I went outside of the airport and my FPS tanked from the 60s, high 40s into the teens, why? I may have an older GPU. Yes, I get it. It is a 1080 Ti. It is overclocked. It is water cooled. I may have an older CPU, but it is a hex core with hyperthreading, overclocked. If I can handle games like Flight Simulator and other much more intense things, then it speaks to the optimization and the render engine that they're using and the way they're doing it, in my opinion, that's not optimized. Like the game wasn't finished and they released it. That's just what it feels like to me, and the experience is not good. Same with going in and configuring the strips and all of that stuff. To me, under settings, they should have an option for game UI, tower UI. Let me come in here. Let me select, okay, strips. And then come in here and say, okay, strip text, you, and just tweak it live right here. And then it writes it to the config file for me when I hit apply. It makes more sense. Give me a color wheel. Even if I mean, it's great that I have the option to go in and log RGB color spectrum, so there's billions of colors out there that I can pick, or millions, whatever it is. But why can't you just give me like 10 presets, or even just give me the RGB spectrum here and let me drag a slider on it, hit apply, and you write the RGB code to the file for me. It just makes it a better, more efficient experience for me to get in and control the game in a good manner for me. I get it, they're a small team, but these are things that IMO, for me, I'd rather wait 3, 4, 5 months for things like this to be implemented and give me a better out-of-the-box experience. Because right now, I'd rather go back and play Tower 3D Pro, even the stock version without the mod, because it works better. I can forgive certain bugs, but I really don't like games that ship incomplete with the expectation that we're going to fix it and beta test it for free. I paid a lot of money for this game, and I expect it to work better than this. I do not appreciate, like, or condone the developers that feel day one patching, essentially, is the status quo. That started with Tribes 2 20 years ago, whatever it was, I don't know. And it just has continued from there and snowballed because, well, everybody's got broadband. No, finish your damn game and release a solid product. If you want to add content to it, go for it. And I say this as a person who backs Star Citizen. Yes, I know. So, again, to summarize my initial comments, the game isn't ready. It's just not ready to play. It does have a massive amount of potential to take things forward, step up, and be a great improvement over the prior iteration. But at the moment, I feel like I just got a UI overhaul, some fancy spatterings of pretty things on the side, eye candy, and the underlying game is a step backwards from the old game. All the stuff I was excited for, all the stuff I talked up in the earlier videos, I still talk up because that's the potential. But I don't want to wait for Service Pack 1 to come out before I can really enjoy the game and start feeling like a controller. At the moment, this is Tower. Simulator has no belonging in that title to me right now. So I will make some more videos of this. I will tinker with it and do some more stuff, see if we can get some more things done. But ultimately, I'm really not motivated to keep playing the game as it stands right now because the other one is such a better experience. And I've sunk a lot of money into the other one with different airports and real colors. So I'm very disappointed. And I think if I was able to, I would have refunded my money for this game and tried it again later. Which is ultimately why I didn't start Tower 3D Pro when it first launched, because I'd watched some videos, saw that it wasn't the best at launch. I let them get some things fixed, then I joined it, and overall I enjoyed it. Was it perfect? Hell no. But it was a much better game that I got a lot of fun out of when it was ready to go. This one I think I'm going to have to sit on and wait and hope I get a return on my investment down the road. But until these things are fixed and the game runs better, I will not spend a single dime on this game. So, those are my thoughts. I know it sounds kind of like a downer, but I'm just being honest. So, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.